If at first you don't succeed, try again. Hey, so I was up in my attic last night and I was looking for a book for a friend of mine. He had contacted me. He said, Peter, can you find this book for me? I gave it to you back in 1986. And yes, I still have it. Here it is. It's a collection of E. E. Cummings's poetry. But when I was up in the attic, I had to sort through my hundreds and hundreds of books that I used to use when I was a clergy person. And I was able to find a lot of the books that I have read and referenced here. And I want to point out Interior Castle. Interior Castle is by St. Teresa of Avila. And it's from St. Teresa that I learned what I'm going to talk about this morning. And today I want to talk about the portability of meditation. And I called today's episode, if it's an episode, uh, Meditation is More Portable Than a Cell Phone. And I'm going to stop for a second and say, hi, Andrew. Hi, Jem. Hey, Susie. Word Magic. Hi there. Dust yourself off and try again. And plus, I'm dropping my books. And there it is. Anyway, so meditation is more portable than a cell phone. Now, after reading about what Teresa did, and one of the things that Teresa taught me is that if I practice only centering silence meditation with no accoutrements, I don't practice with like a hemp sync with sound, or I don't practice with a candle, or I don't practice with incense. If it's just myself with my breath and my prayer chants, then it's extraordinarily portable. Now, decades ago and early on in my meditation practice, I developed this habit of meditating every morning, like we're trying to do here. But I also began this habit of whenever I was available or whenever the time was available, wherever I was, whatever I was doing, I'd stop and meditate exactly where I was. And sometimes at this particular time, I was a college student and was waiting for a bus. Maybe I was trying to catch the bus home or trying to catch the bus back to school. I would sit in the bus station and meditate for a couple of minutes. If I was in a doctor's office, I would sit in the doctor's office and meditate. If I was standing in a checkout line buying groceries or something, I would stand there, or maybe I was waiting for a friend. I would stand there and I would meditate for a moment. I'd follow my breath, I'd say my chant. And if it was too weird for people for me to close my eyes, I'd leave my eyes open and I'd lock them on something, some object. And that was kind of weird too, because I get this intense look on my face. But hey, so anywhere, anytime, for a minute or three, I'd close my eyes and meditate. And I still do this. I did this 2 days ago when I was at the doctor's office. I sat in the doctor's office when I was in the waiting room, and I meditated when I was there. And I could have picked up my phone. I could have looked at my phone. And I think I did after a little while. After I meditated for a few minutes, I did look at my phone. But then when I went into the exam room, I sat there and I meditated there as well. It wasn't anything serious, just a regular sort of checkup. But I meditated while I waited. The thing about this kind of silent meditation is its portability. And if you're in a practice where you are regularly training your mind for focus on a daily basis, if maybe in the middle of the day you have a moment or two, you have an option to close your eyes, take a few breaths, and chant. And this practice, in addition to my daily formal practice, I would call this meeting with you, all of you here, my formal practice, but I'm my button up here for formality. But what I mean is that the regular ritualized practice of my life, if I had that practice going, then it is really simple during my day to take a moment or two wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, to meditate for a couple of breaths, 3 breaths, 5 breaths. We kind of do this on Sunday morning. We do a little tiny meditation. Um, Meditation is extraordinarily portable. And it adds drips and drops when I meditate wherever I am, whenever I have a minute. It adds drips and drops of peace to my day. It centers myself even more. It increases my time spent in meditation, which is how meditation works. You got to put the time in to get the thing out of it. It increases my interior quiet. It leaves me less troubled. Like, for instance, if my appointment with the doctor wasn't just a regular exam and I was going in there for something like bad news, which I have, not a problem, I'm just telling you that. I could center myself before that happens. By training my mind, I can calm myself, but more importantly, I can open myself up and my interior world expands as I do so. Now, this works for me. I assume it was probably work for you at work. Teresa is the one who talked about it. She's like, "You don't need all those extra things. All you need is your own breath and your mind, and then you have it with you at all times." So no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, no matter who you're with even, you have the tools you need for bringing yourself into a more peaceful place, into a calmer, more mindful place where you're not where a person is being less driven by the emotions, but observing the emotions and the response. It's a very powerful tool to apply every day that you can during your day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. You don't want to do it when you're driving. You don't want to close your eyes and meditate while you're driving. That's a bad idea. Um, but anytime you have a moment, you can close your eyes and take a moment in breath and meditate, and it just adds that much more to your day and to your practice over a lifetime. So I want to encourage that. Repeating your mantra works well, says Catherine. Exactly. That I also do. Catherine, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Say, for instance, if I'm weeding the garden, weed and weed and weed and weed and weed, and then I chant my mantra then. Or if I'm on my bicycle, I chant my mantra then. Or if I'm out for a walk, I chant my mantra then. I burn my prayer inside my head so that it runs on a tape loop so that whenever I need it, it's already running and it just rises to the forefront, and I just merely need to pay attention to it. It is the practice of constant prayer. Thank you for bringing that in, Catherine. That is so true. Before we begin, I'm going to say hi to folks I didn't say hi to: Susan, Kate, Basilia, Betty L, and Jem. That look, yes. That's why I try not to shut off the lights or sound because I want to be able to do it anywhere. Okay, so while we have a moment here, let's talk about sound. So, good morning, JT. Hey, long time no see. JT, how you doing? So sound. I had a correspondence this week with somebody who said to me that she sometimes, when I had the birds on and you could hear the birds in the background, sometimes there'd be a clanging sound, cling, and what that was is the birds on the creaky old bird feeder suddenly would make it creak, and that shocking sound, right? So you're being lulled along in your prayer life, in your meditation life, and maybe you're in public and you're intentionally not listening to the sounds. You're listening to your practice, and then a truck blows its horn, and it's startling. And instead of grabbing hold of the sound of the horn of the truck, you let it pass by you and you continue to focus in your prayer practice. This is an advantage to have sound in your practice. I turn down my lights, I make sound very quiet. This is true in my formal practice. But when I'm out in public meditating, which is pretty often, I can't control my environment. I can't control the light and I can't control the sound. It's a really great way to practice the strength of your mind and your breath in the situation where you're not in control of your environment, where sounds can be shocking or sounds can be too loud. It's a really great thing, and I'm so super glad you brought that up, Jem. I'm so super glad because this is all the stuff that we're talking about, the portability of the practice. And again, I'm going to say, hey, thanks, Teresa of Avila, for your guidance on that. Brother Ed, intermittent moments meditation focus on the carrier tones that lie behind and within the ebb and flow of our reality. Ah, nice. Thank you. All right. Time to begin. Where are my glasses so I can work on my clock? I guess I'll do that without my glasses on. That'll be interesting. Hmm. Okay. I think I can do that. All right. Set the timer for 20 minutes. Make sure the phone is on Do Not Disturb, which is a great new tool if I can remember to turn it off every morning, which I'm not very good at the moment. Put on my mask. Begin with 3 ohms, and if you're new here, we chant with our breath, like my hat. We chant with our breath and our prayer chant, and we ride our prayer chant on our breath like a dragonfly on your palm, not grasping. And if you've been with me for a while and you've been practicing the past couple of weeks with the wheel, third eye to sacral chakra or to root chakra, then back up your back, then back down your front, and back up your back. Keep that wheel going. Keep practicing, focusing in these two spots. And what will happen is you're going to connect them. That's a little bit of Kriya for you this morning. Okie dokie. So thanks for being here today. Welcome, like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Thanks for your support. And let's begin. Set the timer. Mask on to reduce the light for myself. Settling into my chair, feet flat on the floor, hands on my lap, folded. In breath to the lungs and the chest. It's the same thing. In breath to the belly and the chest for the chanting orally of the ohms, and then just belly breathing for the silent centering meditation. Here we go. everyone. Yeah, open your eyes if you wish. Keep meditating if you want to. Thanks for joining me here this morning, joining us here this morning, sharing the energy between us, the Shaktipad, the energy transfer that occurs where two or three or many are gathered together. It says so in the Gospel of Thomas, says so in the Gospel of, I want to say Matthew. Anyway, everyone, peace and love to you all. I'll see you Sunday. Not church, Mystic Tea Salon. Peace and love. Namaste. Like and subscribe. Thanks for your support. Thanks for being here. Thanks for bringing your light with you. This is a collective. I hold the space for us. See you soon. Thanks, Wendy. Peaceful day to all. Thanks, Wanda. Hey, Ken.